factory gauges, precision, control, a marvel of post-production create engineering. But getting here was a struggle. Don't get me wrong, factory gauges are brilliant, one of the best additions in Create's post-production upgrade. But they've got flaws, and today, I want to see if I can fix a few. Welcome back to Skyblock Infinite Create. Last time, we unlocked the Lava Infinity Sphere, our ticket to bottomless power. We also set up an elevator, and I've got something exciting planned with elevators later in the episode, so stick around for that. What could be so exciting about elevators, Gremlin?
I don't know, but I don't think I've seen anyone else do this yet, so...
Between episodes, I filled in the floor of our workshop and started cranking out some Create necessities like bulk fan processors, an efficient press for all our pressing needs. Get it? We also built a precision mechanism crafting station because nothing says progress like tiny little complicated parts. Then came the cobble generator, not just for stone. This beast gives us all the gravel and sand we'll ever need. And then I decided, let's go big or go home, and went even bigger on a washing setup that has 4 fans, so it'll wash 4 times as fast for all those bulky orders. And then covered it all in leaves and girders and shafts so it wouldn't look as ugly. We also got ourselves an iron golem as a shopkeep. I've been calling him the foreman, and to the left you can see our gold processing setup. I'll show you how it works in a bit. Oh, there's a bat right in my view. Okay, should probably eat before I do this. Hold up. Much better. I put in a lot of work between episodes because I didn't want to just build another factory. I wanted to talk about a concept that's been really bugging me. Factory gages. They're prone to sending only 1 stack of any item at a time. So if I wanted to, for instance, send 9 stacks of gravel to the washer at a time, I can't do that with a factory gauge. So I came up with a solution. These vaults are all hooked up to the cobble generator. As you can see, cobble, gravel, and sand. When I need tuff, this redstone signal will take a signal off a threshold switch, like this one here that is set up with our tuff vault, saying, keep 1,000 stacks in here. If we get below that, call for more. And that sends into a pulse timer, which sends into this, which sends over to right here, which will send 9 stacks at a time or less if there's less in the vault. So I've basically set up a promise here. The same with the washer for gravel. Do we have enough iron? If not, this should be pulsing every 10 seconds or so and sending out gravel. We're doing the same thing down here with our sand. And as you can see, apparently we don't have enough clay because I'm sending sand directly to the washer. And now because this is able to drop 9 stacks at a time, it's already emptied and moving down into our processing. This is our clay vault. Now our gold, as I said in that intro, I'll explain how the gold works. Think a fountain. It is draining from the top down. We want to keep a certain amount of clay in this vault. Currently, we want to keep above 530. If there is not that many stacks in there, this will be powered off, which will let this pulse timer pulse every 10 seconds to tell it, hey, send a stack of sand to the washer to get turned into clay. These funnels are all locked by this threshold switch. If we are below 490 stacks of clay blocks, then this will turn off those funnels, which will allow the clay to be processed into clay blocks. The same down here, we have a threshold switch on this terracotta. When we're below a certain amount, this will turn off, taking those clay blocks down, turning them into terracotta, and then the same with our red sand. And then the red sand
whenever we need red sand for our gold production, all we have to do is have a package get sent from here to the washer, rolls along here, and gets shot off to the washer. So tell me, if you're washing something, does it matter how many of the item is sitting on the ground there? No, it does not. It can wash 5 stacks as quickly as it'll wash 1 stack. It'll wash 9 stacks as quickly as 1. So when you're sending items to the wash, do you want them sent in this box? Or in this box? My money is going to be on this box. That's the one you're going to want to send, because it's got 9 stacks of gravel in it, and that's just more efficient. But now you're going to say, what about recipes like the one behind me? Azurine, that requires clay and flint in certain numbers. Yes, that is a different process, and my original idea is already outdated. Let me show you what we can do with that. I have this set up, and I know what you're saying, but Gremlin, you're using factory gauges. Yes, I am using factory gauges, but I wanted to keep more in stock than the 100 max that this would let me. This won't let me keep more than 100 stacks, and Azurine is something I'm going to want a lot of. Enter our threshold switch again. I want to keep over 220 stacks. I want to keep over 200. If it goes below 200, get me more. Now, I've connected that threshold switch to this receiver. Now, the interesting thing is I can connect this factory gauge to a blank network. This will never get fulfilled. The only thing stopping this from constantly asking for more is this threshold switch giving a signal in to this. So let's talk about that for a second, because you're telling me these can work together? Huh. So let's say we want cobblestone in that. Right? Let's say we want to keep 100 in stock. Of course, we've got way more than that in our cobblestone generator over there, but we can now add a connection here. And if that is in stock, it's going to actually give us an output. Or we can do this as a receiver, like we have. Let's just give it a random signal here. Fire off a signal, and that is going to tell this, hey, don't do whatever the action you were going to do. Basically, think of it like a clutch. But that's inelegant. I think that is just going to end up with a bunch of packages when we need Azurine all on the belts again. Belts, chains, one day I'll get it right. Anyway, I have an idea. We're going to test this. I have not really played with one of these yet. This is a redstone requester. Basically, you put in a request up to 9 items, and from what I've been able to tell, you can go up to a max of 256 per item. So I could actually send multiple packages worth with this. I'm going to set this to clay balls and flint. And for every 1 flint we put in, we need to be sending 3 clay. So, and if we send that to this address, we can now get rid of this and do the inverse of this. When we are at or below, we will send this a pulse, and when we're above, this will be empty. No, I think actually we want that to be like that. We want to be sending out the signal, right? We want to take this signal and feed that over here into this redstone and feed that into a pulse timer. And let me actually turn up my volume here so you can hear, because this will actually beep when it gets a signal. And then we can put that on top there, like so. So we can get rid of that network. Don't even need that. Use that as a stand, it's fine. Well, we just want to send that maybe once a minute. Right? When this is low, I don't think we're going to be able to how many stacks is that? 256, I think that is 4 stacks. That is 4 stacks we are sending to get processed. So we could do that again, but let's go ahead and say we want more than this. Let's say we want 250. What was that noise? Was that this? Oh, that's a noise. Oh, look. There's the order coming. And if we look around front, we should see... Yep, here is our order being processed. And there we go. Now, I've set that up. Ignore the mess back here. These are andesite alloy. And we have 2 arms back here. Each one is set to a different depot. This is set to iron. That is set to andesite. And that's for andesite. And then over here we've got one for azurine production. It's the same thing. We filter to a depot. And then the arm just picks it up and puts it in its pertaining bin. And we do the same over here with brass, except brass has a 3rd arm that comes with coal for the burner. And it seems like 2 stacks of coal will, or charcoal in our case, will do about a stack of brass. And then this all gets pumped out to here, which goes to the azurine storage. Now this one is set again, like we have at the wash. Oh look, and we're going to actually catch it turning over when it goes from 8 stacks to 9 stacks. There it goes. One full. Return. Let's see how full this is. I think we could probably put another output there. Because yeah, we just restocked all of that. So it seems like right now, we can only do input maybe every minute and a half. Let's do 2 minutes just because I don't want that backing up. Something like this. I must not have my Frogport set up on here correctly. Let's fix that. Grab ourselves one of these. Just there. No shift click. There we go. And then this is... That should fix that problem. Or not. What did I do wrong? I did caps. There we go. And this is a decent sized vault, so it should be able to handle. Quick trip to the foreman for a threshold switch. Thank you, sir. So my current issue with this is that this could keep calling for items once this storage is full, but it hasn't processed all of these down. Now, it seems to be keeping up, but you want to fail safe so that you don't have a bunch of things clogging up your belts. And the best way to avoid that is to put a threshold switch on this container here. Say, hey, I want to know you can hold 180 stacks. So if you get up to 160, if you're at 160, you're about to overflow, I want you to turn on. Then we grab a redstone link here. We go back up here and see this has gotten the required stack, so it has turned off. But what we can do is grab a clipboard and give me 1 second. You, come here often? You know, you could look at me. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. And for those of you who didn't know, you can right-click with a clipboard in your hand, and it will copy, and then left-click, and it will paste. Now, if this is ever giving out a signal for any reason, it will also turn on this, which will stop this. So if that starts to get full, this is going to say, hey guys, let's not send anymore until that turns off. 2 inputs can turn this off. So let's throw another basin on there and increase this by 1. And if we get rid of all of our extra stuff with the toolbox, that should be it. Now we have 3 going at once, which is perfect. Just like we have over here with our andesite. Now, we seem to have put more nuggets in here. So let's go check that out. Okay, so it looks like yes. We get right on the corner here, that was all the nuggets we had extra in there. So let's clear out the basins and set up our requester for andesite alloy. So to start, let's actually move our network connection off of here. So let's grab that network by clicking the stock link. Let's just move this somewhere a little bit neater. Put that there. Give it a link, actually. We want this one, because that is connected up to the right network. Then we just want to give it a frog, and tell this to only send packages. So that's a little neater over there. We've got more room. Let's grab our threshold switch, like so. Tell it to read only andesite alloy. And let's tell it stacks. We want to keep, if we're keeping in here 260, so let's say 300 over there. Let's keep the same amount over here. There. So we are currently at 37 stacks, so that will kick off. And I don't want it to actually, because we don't have this automated quite yet. I think we're actually going to do the exact same thing, even though we could just run a repeater or a timer right there and send it out that way. What we're going to end up with this is no way to clutch it like we did over there. So instead what we're going to do is grab ourselves a handy dandy redstone link. Place that on there, give that a signal of andesite alloy and andesite block, and that is the correct settings. We want it to be on when this is at the required amount. So that's good. We can step over here. Let's see how much of this area we can clear out. Oh, we got a bit of room. It's just texturing for the outside. So then what we want to do is take a redstone link, place that there, give it the same. So let's grab our clipboard, copy, paste, set that to receive mode. Get rid of the data on that clipboard so it can be put back. We'll keep one out for now though. And then grab some redstone, give that one of these, or we can actually shorten this by just going into pulse timer. Let's set this the same every 2 minutes, and we can up that as we go. And then we want to put a redstone requester. Now with the requester, it needs to be tuned to a storage network. So I'm gonna tune it to that and set it like this. Now for this, we want to request 1 nugget and 1 andesite per. So let's actually go ahead and do that. 1 nugget and an andesite. Now, of course, we want to increase the numbers of each of those. And that's 4 stacks. I think that will be enough. So then we want to come over here and grab this guy, Andesite alloy production. Give him that address. Check. Now just to test it, let's just give it a signal. And we should see packages. Yep. There goes 1, 2, and there you go. There is all of our andesite alloy being produced. Perfect. Now we got to be careful where we put this threshold switch because we don't want it interacting with our frog ports there. So let's actually put up top so we can see this better. Face that in. Set that to stacks. Yeah, 180 stacks. So we're going to set this again. If we get to 160, give us a signal until we get back down to 50. Want some more redstone link. Quick copy and paste. And that is also set to transmit. And that should work. Problem is, we don't have andesite, the block, being produced yet. So guess what we're doing next? You guessed it, andesite production. And I think that means these guys are gonna have to move. I have a plan for them, but that might not be till next episode. For now, we're just gonna move them out of the way, because that's our building location. Okay, so I've thrown them all in this hole, and they most definitely will not get left in there this entire episode. Why would I do that? Oh, they think they can make babies in there. These hooligans. Alright, let me get back to what I was doing and ignore these guys. Fine, I'll give them their workstations. Gosh, so needy. There. Now you'll behave. And I just went to go make 2 more toolboxes to kind of facilitate this, and I remembered we have these guys. So I'm going to grab some color off of this to make 2 more colored toolboxes for my toolbox ring, and this will just be with some building blocks, and then we'll get started. 1 vigorous boning later. That should be good enough for now. Real quick, needed more redstone, and the extendo arm was the most efficient way to catch them. You, sir, you will sell. Thank you, sir. You, sir, will you sell? Yes, you will. And you, sir? Why, thank you, sir. And you? No, you're done. Okay, I think I got the redstone I need. So I've set up our new toolboxes with just a few little buildable blocks. Let's lay something out. I have an idea of maybe combining this with our kelp farm, but let me get the brain working and then we'll see if I can pull that off. Something like this, maybe. Let's use this as our platform. And I am going to jump into a time lapse, and then I'll bring you back in and explain how it works. If I understand how it works myself. Let's do this. So here's the thing. Diorite is a simple craft. All it takes is a little quartz, a little cobble, and you get diorite. You can put it in a mechanical crafter, but this is slow and it actually eats up a lot of stress. This we could do. We could set up gravel and bone meal and go that route. That would be doable. And then take this and use that with lava and more flint to create diorite. We could do that, but this is easy. So what I've got here is just a automated diorite crafter. It's set 9 long, each with 3 volts underneath that will, when they get 9 stacks, create a package and send it down and into the storage vault. It's not automated yet, but it's getting there. The problem is with these, you have to set the recipe for each one, just like that, and then you gotta block off that. The impulse is there to click. I was going to craft it, just take that, but I want to leave that because it always is gonna need 1 in there. Oh, gotta remember to do that. So basically what I've figured out with these, and I know they're older now, but I haven't played with them that much. If you want to use a vanilla crafter, you have to set the recipe in there and then lock it out. So as long as these inputs are continuing to be fed in each time this crafts, then these will continue to craft. I know I said craft like a million times there. This is Minecraft after all. We want cobble to stay in this, so we're going to set a threshold that when this is at, it will turn on. When it's below, it'll turn off. Then we're going to give this a name. Let's call this DI. And how is that actually spelled? Diorite. Diorite craft cobble. So we're going to give this one the same. Alright. Diorite CR cobble. Diorite CR quartz. So then we have our threshold switch. And we have our requester connected to our network. And let's make sure this is actually going to be on right now so it doesn't send a pulse. And then for this is quartz. We want to request 1 box. And that is going to copy this, paste that there. This is going to have the same. We're going to power it like that for now so that it's not requesting at the moment. And this one is cobble, 64, 256, and 256. And then we're going to copy this address and put it in there. Now let's set this to a reasonable time. Let's go 15 seconds here and every 15 seconds here. Now when I turn these on, it should start filling these. There goes one. There goes the other. So we could probably do this in 10 seconds. And in almost no time at all, those filled up quite quickly. So now it's time to work on this side. Now, in order for this to not craft when this does not have anything on the belts, I want to set up conditions. Condition 1, this vault has more than 1 stack in it. Condition 2, the quartz vault has more than 1 stack in it. And condition 3 is that there is enough room in the diorite. So diorite, how many of these do we want to keep? We want to keep 500. Keep 425. Shut off at 425. Turn back on at 500. So that means if all 3 of these are off, this is ready to go. Then we put that there. Let's actually give these a unique time. They're all going to have the timer at the bottom, and we're going to do quartz at the top. So that is our mechanism set up. Let's go ahead and give it some power. So if we look down here, we can do our good old trick of dig a hole in the floor, pull out our chain conveyor, and hook that up with a chain over here. to our previous connection, which I do believe is right here. So that is now spinning. Let's see if it's the right direction. Do a vertical here and there we go. So that's going in the correct direction. If we want it to be the same up here, we're gonna need perfect in case chain drives are my friend. And then if that's the case, we want a double gearbox here. Alright, that means we're gonna want over here. We want an inverse of that. So what we're gonna do is grab one of you and there we go. So that is going the correct direction, which means this should be the correct direction as well. Let's set that to exactly 64, and this is split. We don't want force split, we just want split. Perfect. Now let's check. Oh, yep. And yes, they all look right. Now we replace this signal. We want all of these to transmit and this to receive. Then we want a timer. Oh no. So I may have faced them in the wrong direction. That's why we were there with the wrench to catch it quick. Let me fix that real quick. No, I cannot use the change direction with these guys. I can pick them up. I think this would be a good time to put a clutch in here. And I did not give myself very much room for it. Actually, I can do a clutch right here. We'll turn that off for now. So do I need to face that the other way, looking up? This is gonna fill my inventory so fast. And yes, that has filled my inventory. Just put this all in here for now. Okay, so gather all that extra stuff up. We want to place these like this. Do I need to get a trap door? Okay. So if we put a trap door here, can we place that? It does not appear that that will work. Placing it like this versus what does it look like from the other side? Okay, so that's what we want to see. We want to see that. Am I gonna have to do them all like this and then move them? I'm sure there's an easier way, but this is how I'm doing it. Just pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down. I am doing this in the wrong order. I need to do the further ones first. Now I've made it a parkour challenge. I got this. Yeah. Whee. Oh. Back up we go. Whee. Got it. There. And the last one, can I grab you from here? Yes, I can. Alright. Okay, I have checked everything. We can send these back in. Alright. And then let's try this again with a pulse timer and our redstone, and let's do that last. Okay, nothing so far is messing up. Bring it down to 10 ticks and hold up. How's that? It's working. I see that where my problem has gone. We need to actually put these going the other direction, and we need a packager here. And just a funnel there should be fine. And we have diorite. These filled up relatively quickly, that's good. Let's put our timer back in place. These should, there they go. And are we keeping up? We seem to be. Can we go? Ooh. I think it's working. Oh, that's nice. This is keeping up, and this is keeping up. Oh, wow. We are already at 12k diorite, and that's been a matter of minutes. That's fantastic. Oh, and that's so synchronized. I love it so much. And all of these are continuing to work properly. That is slowing down. This is having a hard time keeping up with it at this rate. But we don't even need it that fast. It seems at this rate, it'll be able to keep up. Yeah, so that is our sweet spot. We want this at 10 ticks, and this is sitting at 10 seconds. Perfect. Wow, that is just filling up down here. Yeah, we are in business. And it's a dance floor. Let's go ahead and grab our packager, our stock link, and actually we need this to be tuned to the proper network. Right there, tuned to the network. That to you. And if we take out a frog, we want this to be here. Yeah, actually we probably want this to be, yeah, here. So if it needs to turn around, it can. But we're sending it down the line, which is probably where we're going to make andesite over there. So that should mean if we walk up to our cool friend over here, Mr. Foreman, yep, we now have diorite on tap. We're going to need to make this look pretty, but yeah, I like that. That will never get old. That is so cool. If we check our sand, our soul sand, our quartz is running lower. So we're definitely going to want that to restock. Let's check on that. Why are you like this? Why are you like this, sir? Anyway. Okay, and it seems that our cobble gen is doing alright. Right, how do I get out of here? And it looks like this has stopped. So we were able to fill that up very quickly. Like, I'm recording this, it's been 30 minutes, maybe less, since we turned this all on. Yeah, look, that turned, all of that worked perfectly. This is filling itself back up. Perfect, perfect. Oh, I couldn't ask for it to work any better. This is just perfect. Now we just need to make it look nice. I've done some makey look nicey, and I've also gone ahead and set up our andesite, and because we have all the ingredients for it, we've made diorite, or granite, on this side. So that now flows into this vault. You'll see when I turn that on, this threshold is going to say, hey, go ahead and process that for me. Let's set that to 1 minute, and it should start going. We could probably process more at once. Oh, well, that would also be why, hold up, if we set the recipe right, we wouldn't have these kinds of problems. And because the way I've set this up, we actually don't need to give this an address, because if we grab a link to see, these are on their own network separate from that. These will call from that storage only. And then the same over here. This is a separate network hooked up back in here for these guys. Those two are tuned to that one there. So all we have to do now is double check the recipe is correct. It is. Give that redstone. It should start going. Check the recipe is correct. It is. And that should start going. I mean, we could go through and clear out some of that. There goes. Those start to go. And then this side is doing the same thing over here. Well, that looks great. That seems to be keeping up. I am really happy with how this turned out. We'll do a bit of prettying up in the back there so we don't have to see these vaults. But other than that, I think that works really well. All we have to do now in order to give our entire system access to these new blocks is go ahead and grab a connection to the network, put that on there, and grab our frogs, only send, frog, and only send. Let's go see if our foreman has the blocks. Hello, Mr. Foreman. Yup, there is granite, and where is andesite? There we go. Well, that was quite the episode, wasn't it? I'm really thrilled with how it worked. If you enjoyed what we did today, give it a like, hit the subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you won't miss anything. And I know, I teased at the beginning that we were going to do something with elevators. Well, I couldn't get to it in this episode, unfortunately, so we'll do it in the next one, don't worry. It's really cool. I haven't seen anyone else do it. So, if you want to catch when that comes out, hit the notification bell and subscribe so you can find out when I release it. I'm going to try and do a midweek episode next week, just to throw that in because I'm really excited about this thing with the elevators. That said, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.